First thing you're going to want to do is get these items: moss blocks, azalea saplings, flowering azalea saplings, flowering azalea leaves, and big drip leaf. We're going to use these items to make the table. So when building the table, you don't have to follow any strict sort of pattern. I'm going to kind of lay out the moss blocks at a good length just to see how big I want this table to really be, and I think about right there, and maybe extend it out a little farther this way. That's a good size. Then we can come on in with our other blocks and add them in kind of throughout, and adding some texture and stuff just like so. We want this to look very natural because it's kind of based on the Mad Hatter's garden from Alice in Wonderland, and taking these blocks out as we go. And you can do this however you want. If you want to make the table completely out of drip leaf, you sure can, but I think this is a really good combination of blocks for our table. Next, we're going to build the seats, and for these seats I'm just going to use a combination of stairs and slabs along with a mixture of different doors and trap doors. So I'm going to go ahead and get onto that, and I'll show you guys what I did in a second. And there we go. We've got seats all the way around the table so people are ready to eat and enjoy tea. Next, we're going to do a little bit of a stone wall along the outside of the garden, and you can do this with anything. I'm going to outline it with cobblestone first just to kind of get an idea. And then after laying out the general outline of stone, I did a mixture of cobblestone slabs, mossy cobblestone slabs, and fences and stairs all the way around. And we're going to mix in some different leaves as well, just to add some more texture and detail to this build. Before we do that, we're going to carve out a little bit of a path this way, and then we're going to do a leaf arch to kind of do our grand entrance into the garden area. And much like the path, this doesn't have to have any sort of rhyme or reason. We can kind of build it up in a general sort of pattern, but as long as it has like an archy kind of feel to it, we should be just fine. Okay, the basic outline of the leaf arch is done, so we're going to go through and texture with some flowering azalea leaves and maybe add in some glow lichen and some vines for extra detail. And there we go. We'll give the vines some time to grow, but I think this is going to look really nice. So now we can take the azalea leaves and the flowering azalea leaves and add some detail along the outside of our garden perimeter. Decorative leaves have been added in. And for even more decoration, we're going to build a small little pond kind of coming out of this little area with some small waterfall falling into it. Maybe we'll put some fish in it too, just to make it look even better. I'm going to go ahead and decorate this little pond with some coarse dirt and some rooted dirt as well, and we'll probably add in a little bit of cobblestone and slabs down below, as well as where the water's falling out of this little hill. Okay, decorative blocks for the little pond are in, and I can actually probably add a little bit more off to this side to even it out. So we'll fill this entire space in with water before we add in our little waterfall, just to make sure everything's covered and the water is actually lying pretty flat. There we go. And then we can throw our water in right here, and boom, that's looking really nice. And then when you're done, if you want to, you can go ahead and come on in with some seagrass to add some extra detail to this little pond. You can even add some extra growth around it with sugarcane and maybe some bamboo. And if you don't want it to grow too tall, just make sure you top these off with some string and you should be good to go. Next, we can take this path that comes in from our arch, and we're just going to have it wrap around the table, not having any rhyme or reason, just kind of making a random pattern all the way around, and then we can fill it in on either side to make it like a 3 wide kind of gap, just like so. So we'll take this that we already have and go along the outside on the left and the right sides to show that it's well worn. People have been coming in having tea, maybe some scones, maybe some muffins. I don't know, what else do people have at tea parties? I'm not really sure. Once your path is done, you can come on in with some bone meal and decorate it. I personally do not like tall grass, so I'm going to be taking that out as I'm going through. And then I'll go through with some additional flowers, maybe some blue orchids because they are the best flower in the game. Don't try to change my mind and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't like tall grass. I just think it kind of looks bad. And all of our floral decorations are in. If you want to go the extra mile, you can add in some custom trees and custom mushrooms along the outside. Let me show you what I did in my build testing world when I was designing this build. There we go. So in my build testing world, I did some custom spruce trees that looked just a little funky and did some various designs for different mushrooms. Some of these are just standard mushrooms with added blocks, but some of them are completely custom, like this blue concrete mushroom over here that I did with some glow lichen that's looking actually really good. I'm really happy with how that one turned out. And then some of the spruce trees are actually just stacked spruce logs. I put a dirt block down and a spruce sapling and grew it, and it turned out to look actually really good. This was a tip I learned from watching BOO on Hermitcraft, so shout out to BOO. Fantastic job, dude. And then I decorated the table with various items such as some pots for cups, some item frames for plates with various foods, and some candles as well. And then adorned the middle of the table with an anvil and a dragon egg. I'm really happy with actually how this entire build came together, but let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about it. YouTube thinks you guys will like these videos, so go ahead and click one of those if you want to see more of my content. And don't forget to click the links in the description to find me on other social media. I will see you guys in the next one, and always remember the most important thing is to be odd and wash your hands. Peace, guys.